Oh, it's saying I'm live. Looks like I can still go live from the tablets, but I can still go live from the tablets by the look of it. The tablets.
Right, okay.
So that's a good thing. Get this going. That was terrible this morning. I don't know why they changed it like that.
I don't know what's going on.
Hello, how you going? We had a lot of trouble this morning going live. We couldn't go live from our tablet for some computer for some reason. Hey David, how you going? We had a lot of trouble with going live this morning. We spent hours trying to go live, and all these new programs they've put on, I don't know why they've done it, but we can't go live from the computer anymore. So looks like I might have to start going live from my tablet until I can sort that out. It's going to make it a bit harder, but sorry we all missed out on the Pirate Booty Wheel of Doom this morning. Hey Daryl USA, wasn't on, mate. We couldn't go live. It kept mucking up. They hey Tassie, YouTube changed the program, so you've got to download ABS, and then you've got to do something else, and then something else, and the captain tried for me for hours, and she couldn't get it going. Hey Maria. So I don't know why. But I might have to try and go live another time for the Pirate Booty Wheel of Doom, a make-up session one day, one night when I get a chance, something. Yeah, I don't know why they keep changing it. How warm is it down there, Tassie? It's pretty hot up here, mate. It's really hot here, actually. We haven't even got the fire going now. It's wonderful. All right. I wonder, I'll just have to have a bit of a play around and see whether I can get the wheel in the camera shot and how I'm going to do it. 10 degrees here, buddy. Oh, it's 20 here, Tassie. It's nice. It's a very nice day, actually. Yeah, I saw Silver Giveaways have a lot of trouble the other day, and I didn't realise what was going on until we tried to go live this morning, and it had just come up encoder, use your URL encoder and all this sort of thing. Kept wanting encoder details, and it's almost getting to the point where you've got to be a computer professional to work out how to go live. Oh, this is your first time, Maria? Normally we do like the Pirate Booty Wheel of Doom, and you win free coins and stuff like that, but we can't get the computer to work. So we might have to put out an SOS to someone who knows how to use computers and OBS and all that. Hey Tassie's Devil, how you going, mate?
Why can't you get it to work on that computer?
The computer, well, they've changed.
No, like that computer.
Oh, I can work it on this, but this doesn't have like me laptop and me button to find the numbers and all that sort of stuff.
Oh.
Hey Brian, how you going, mate? Has anyone else had any trouble going live? I see everyone else is still going. Premiere may help you if you're calling. Yeah, I might do that, Tassie. I saw Silver Giveaways live stream the test, and I'm pretty sure that was Premiere helping them out to get theirs going again. Hey Anthony. Oh, thanks, mate. Yeah, the captain, she got a bit frustrated with it. She kept trying and trying and trying. And then apparently we found we had like 10 live streams up. Got ahead, Cole, Brian? Yeah. It's the changeover in seasons, mate. It always gets you. So I got an update on the motorcycle rider the other day. He rang me and said thank you and all that, which was wonderful. And he's got a broken femur, and he went into surgery today. So everyone keep Ian in your prayers. Oh, SJ had a hard time tonight too. Yeah, I think they're doing it to try and slow all the people down from live streaming. It certainly slowed me down. I just get me to the point where I can go mobile, and then they cut off the laptop. So I was using originally tablets, and then they cut that off until I got to 1K. And as soon as I get to 1K, then they cut off my computer. So they're making it fun for everyone. At my garage sales on the weekend, I found, where's the camera? I got some silver earrings from Thailand, from Vietnam. You know, the Vietnamese hats that they wear. These little silver earrings are in the shape and size of the hats that they had. Hey, Paranormal Voice. Oh, I'm just trying to work out how I'm going to go live now that they've changed all the YouTube lives for going live from computers. So now I have to go mobile live now. Yeah, so they were quite nice. I paid $5 for them. I was pretty happy with them. And then I got silver and pearls brooch and the little hallmarks in the back there. And I paid $15 for that. And then come the mistakes that I made. I saw this one there and I thought, yep, that's definitely going to be silver. And I didn't take the time to check it. There's no markings on this one. So I'll have to get a test kit and test that one. I'm pretty sure it is silver. The pearls on it are real, so I'm pretty sure it is silver, but just not marked. So that's another thing you've got to keep your eye out for. Sometimes you just take a chance on buying what could be silver, and then you can get a good bargain. So that was mistake number one. And this was mistake number two. I thought it was silver, and it's got the little loop on the end that you look for with writing on it. But I was in a dark veranda and I couldn't see what the writing said, and I just assumed that it said sterling silver on it. But when I got home and shone a light on it and had a good look with a loop, it said Germany. So these are some of the things you've got to keep an eye out for. Is you've got to make sure it doesn't say Germany or German metal or something along those lines. So that was a little mistake, but still a nice necklace for the girls. And then they had this really cool bracelet with like Egyptian scarab beetles on it. So I grabbed that. That was $5. It's not silver or anything, but it's still a nice piece. So I thought the girls might like that. Normally, Dave B, I have taken loops with me to garage sales, but when you pull a loop out, people automatically think, oh, this bloke's a professional, and the price doubles. So I normally just try and do it by eye when I'm at the garage sale, and then when I get home, I double check. But you get pretty good at getting your markings and all that, and finding where they are with a bit of practice. But a sterling silver test kit is also a good thing to have. I've got to get one of them. I've got a lot of stuff that I think is silver but is not marked. So a test kit's always a good thing for when you get home. And this sort of day and age, you really need a test kit just to test things just in case they are fake and marked. Hey, John Oof, how you going? Hey, 23KC. I mean, quite interesting to find out all the different things you can find at garage sales. Like they had a silver turtle pendant there from Vietnam as well, and it wasn't marked, but it looked good. It looked really good, but I try and tend to stay away from unmarked things. I try and just go for the marked items. Gives you a little bit more protection, especially when you're not, like an expert at it all. I'm only learning. I've only been chasing the silver for probably 3 years now. Yeah, that's right, Tassie. You get a real good feel for your silver weight, what it should weigh. That's one thing. You can get a good tell from silver weight, and you can also clink the stuff together and get your silver clink. And a lot of times you'll get to the point where you look at silver a lot and you'll get to know the metal. You'll tell the difference between fake and real. It'll just show differently. You will make mistakes, and don't let it discourage you, because you will also make big scores too. Like you can find some really big silver. I'll just go and grab my biggest score. Like you can get stuff like this. Get the hallmarks in there. There's the little lion rampant there. And I paid $20 for this piece. $20, and it weighs in at 14 ounces. And it's a hollow core, so you can tell it's not lead filled or anything like that. When you've got a hollow core, that's a sign of quality. They're showing you that there's nothing weighting this item. A lot of times they'll have it sealed over. And when you see silver with a sealed over thing and you can't check to see if it's hollow, then it's a good chance it's weighted, and it'll have a lead weight or like a plaster weight inside there. So that's another thing you've got to keep an eye out for. Like a lot of things can be silver foil over things too. So you've got to know, you learn as time goes on. You'll pick up little tricks. And apparently you can rub your silver with your finger really hard, warm it up a little bit, and then you sniff it. And if it smells like sulfur, that's a sign that it's I'm stacking paranormal voices. I don't really resell. I'm just getting as much silver and that as I can for my girls. So pretty much all my silver I stack away. I give the girls a lot, but I keep some of it. I've got a suitcase full. I can show you that on one of the next streams if you'd like. Go through and show you some of the hallmarks and stuff. Like in Europe, instead of 925, a lot of European countries will have 800 or 815, 810 stamps like that. So you've got to learn, if you're really into it and you're hunting it, you've got to learn the different European marks, because you'll come across 800s a lot. 800's quite a common number. And when you see that, that means 800 parts per 1,000 of silver. So you want to grab them. And then you have other hallmarks, like we all pretty much know the lion rampant, but then you've got the, like other countries will have little shields with swords and all sorts of different little hallmarks out there. So it can be quite tricky. It can be really tricky if you don't know what you're up to. I got a nice sterling silver spoon for $1. Oh, Daryl, that's awesome, mate. I think the best silver spoon I got was for $1. That was a pretty good score. But you get some really different things out there if you have a look. And one of the things I always look for is for a fashionista, like a lady advertising clothes and shoes. If she's got a lot of clothes and shoes, she'll most likely have a lot of jewelry. So that's the words I look for when I'm looking in the ads. I look for deceased estates, moving sales, like moving overseas or moving interstate, and women's items like clothes and shoes. That's my tip for going to garage sales. And when you do, you've got to make sure you're there first, because if you're there second, anything good is gone. Ducky is stacking heaps silver. Yeah, you're not wrong, Tassie. That little duck's loaded. Awesome. Thanks, guys. Yeah, I didn't know whether we were going to be able to get to go live today at all or not. I didn't know. Tried and tried so hard this morning. It just didn't happen. So tomorrow morning, Sunday morning for you guys in America, and it's Monday morning for us. Not a lot yesterday. No, this was a while back. This was I got this when I've released a series of videos with apothecary bottles. The place I got the apothecary bottles from is where I got this silver from, and he was a chemist. The Netherlands here. Ah, right, yeah. See, the Netherlands have got different marks as well. Yeah, it's good fun, Dave B. Make sure you get a good metal detector. Don't get one like mine. Mine doesn't pick things up much far under the ground. Like, it's pretty sad, really. I did a test with my metal detector. Like, I put some coins and stuff on the table and lifted it up and down to see how close I had to be to the coins to get them to go off. And most of the coins I had to be that close to them to get my metal detector to go off. Texas. Oh, awesome. Hey, Silver Streak, how you going, mate? The silver giveaways package, yeah, that was awesome yesterday. That really was really a lot of fun to go through. All the barbers and that, I love them. One thing I did forget to show you yesterday was in that video was a Morgan. I did get a Morgan with it too, but I forgot to. It was left in one of the envelopes. But, I don't know if I can find it now. I'll have a look later. Yeah, it was good fun getting all that silver. My my treasure chest with my rounds and stuff is just about full. Let's see if I can give you a little shot with this. There's all my rounds and coins. I've got, there we go. It's a lot of fun when you come out and you just start going through all your different, like I got a 3-ounce bar and 5-ounce pirate bar. That's awesome. I love that pirate bar. There's so many cool things. It's just awesome. I love me silver. Oh, that's all right, Silver Streak. I do that a lot. Ever since being a little kid, like when I was 10 years old, we went to Disneyland in America, and I'd already watched the Goonies and I'd already fallen in love with pirates. How you going, Central Coast Bass? So I already wanted to be a pirate as a little kid, and then when we got to America, we went on a ride at Disneyland called Pirates of the Caribbean, and that was a blast. I must have went on that ride about 30 times. And you go in this boat and through this tunnel, and you see all the pirates and the treasure and all that.
Wait, can we go on that ride if we go?
Yeah, if we go. Yeah, one day.
I don't think Mum will like it.
Yeah, the captain doesn't like it when I talk about Disneyland. She always goes, "Ooh, Disneyland, you got to go to Disneyland." Ooh. So I got to take her to Disneyland now. AppMex does. Oh, cool. I'll have to get onto that. Silver giveaways normally get me all my silver. They because we don't have a lot of access to silver here in Australia, like coin shops and all that sort of thing. If you want silver here, you've got to go online to get it, really. If you go to the shops, you're going to pay an absolute fortune. Many suspect people know where I live. Yeah, I know, Tassie. It's a bit of a worry, but most people who know me wouldn't come to my house, Tassie. I was in the ride when it burned down. Oh, no way. That's awesome. Hope you weren't hurt or anything. And I hope they rebuilt that ride, because that was awesome, that ride. So we had a big dance party here going last night next door. And it was just uns all night. It was terrible. Beat. I hate it. You can tell when you're getting old, you don't like that sort of stuff anymore. Yeah, I know what you're saying with the silver and stuff like that, Tassie, because I normally don't tell people in the local area about my channel. It's just you guys overseas normally that I like. I've told a few people local, and one person that I told about my channel, I ended up having to block them, and because they did cause a lot of trouble. So you've got to be careful who you tell about what you're doing. Late 70s, we were on the last boats out. Oh, wow. See, we went in the 90s, so they must have rebuilt that. And another really cool ride at, oh, yeah, it is, Brian. I'm going to do some more live streams for you, take you through the backyard and all that sort of stuff. But another ride from Disneyland that was really cool was the Haunted Mansion. That was really fun. You go in this elevator and the elevator goes down. It makes it look like it's getting bigger. It was really cool. It was all illusions and things like that. As a little kid, it was just amazing to see that sort of thing as a little kid. So I'd love to take my little guys over there one day. Yeah, we're in Australia. Yep. Yeah, mate. It's a lot of time the Australian accent is very similar to the American until we start throwing slang in. When we put our slang in, you guys just get lost completely and have no idea what we're talking about. But if we talk slowly, you guys just don't even know we're not American. Yeah, it's a lot of fun, Brian. Like we went to Singapore for 4 days. This is when I was 10. Then we went to England for 2 weeks. We got on a ferry, went across to France for 4 days. So we stayed in France, went up the Eiffel Tower and went to the Louvre and did all that. The Louvre is absolutely amazing. If you're ever in France, you've got to line up for that because it's unbelievable. And then we got back on the boat, went back to England. Customs pulled us aside there at the ferry and held us for nearly a day, nearly 24 hours. So that stuffed up our holiday a lot. They thought we were international drug runners or something like that. So they held us for a day in customs, and then we got back to England, spent another 2 weeks in England, flew over to LA and spent 2 weeks in LA. And it was a lot of fun, but yeah, being a little kid going overseas doing all that sort of thing, it really opens your eyes. Like I came from a little town of 500 people, And when we landed in LA and saw the massive big freeways and all the big buildings and all that, like it just dwarfed Sydney. It was an amazing thing to see that. Sydney's grown since then. Sydney's a big city now. Sydney's like a big monster virus city. It just spreads. Because we only have so many states, like 6 states, and each state has its big city, and that big city just spreads. And that becomes one giant, big, massive city. You grew up in LA? Yeah, LA was fun. It was, I enjoyed LA. I want to go back to America soon. Yeah, all the cities here in Australia are just giant, big monsters that eat everything. Like in America, you've got a lot of different cities, whereas here in Australia, we've only got a few big ones, and that's it. Most of them are on the coast too. You got a strip around the coast of Australia, and I think it's 90 something percent of the population lives on the coast. And when you go inland, there's nearly nothing there. There's nearly no people, nothing. It's just like it's desert and it's hard country. Once you get away from the coast, it gets real hard real quick. Oh, Dollywood. Yeah, I'd love to go and check out Dollywood. Didn't Dollywood have a big fire burn through there? I hope they rebuilt it all. Yeah, Dolly Parton, she was pretty cool. We all love Dolly in Australia. And, like I said, in Australia, it's like Little America. We grew up with American TV shows, American movies, American music, all that sort of stuff. Used to go to Disneyland on private nights. No one in the park rides all night. That's the way to go, Central Coast Bass, because when we went there, they'd let you into this little town, like a shopping village, and they'd let you go shopping. I think it was like an hour and a half. You had to wait in there before they opened that town up to the rides. So you'd go to the edge of that town and you'd wait until they'd open it up, and then you'd run to your ride, and you'd get there and you're still an hour line up for that ride. It was unbelievable, the amount of people there. Hey, Kevin, how you going, mate? Oh, that's good, Brian. Yeah, no, Dolly Parton's champion. I love Dolly's movies. Oh, I'm glad I can still go live, because I wasn't sure whether I could go live with on the tablets anymore. I didn't know whether I'd have to download programs to do that either, because it's saying that I've got to download like OBS or ABS or something along those lines. And we tried doing all that. Having a bit of trouble going live from my computer, Kevin, so I'm having to do a mobile live from my tablet. So I couldn't do my Wheel of Doom this morning. So I may do it tomorrow yet. Little hint for everyone. But it'll just be me. It won't be the captain and the kids and all that. It'll only be me doing it. Oh, yeah. Central Coast Bass, I did. Yeah, found it buried. We're doing a mobile live stream using a mobile device rather than a PC, because they changed it all. Yeah, I looked into Disneyland, and you can get you can book your rides. You can go online before you go there, and I don't think it costs any extra, and you can book yourself into certain rides at certain time, and that way you can go through and skip like 4 or 5 lines in a day. You can go straight to the front and get on your ride and go. So you go through, plan your day when you want to go on those big rides, book them in online, and then when you go there, you I think you show them your phone, and they scan it, and then it comes up, yep, here's front of the line, and you go straight up to the front of the line. So that's one thing you should look out for if you go. We were hoping to go to Disney World, because I've been told Disney World's a lot bigger than Disneyland. So that might be the way to go. I don't know where I'm looking at on this computer. I always feel I'm looking in the wrong direction. It is, yeah. We've got friends down in Florida, so we'd like to go and see them too. We're talking 1,000 people in the park at one time. Oh, wow, that'd be a lot of fun, Central Coast. I used to live on the road as Disneyland on Katila. Oh, right. Closest park is Silverwood. Yeah, we used to have a big one in, pardon me. We used to have a big park up in Sydney, and that was a lot of fun. But they shut it down and subdivided and turned it into houses, and I think they ended up making $150 million out of the land. So they were pretty quick to cut it up. So the only one we've got left now is Luna Park in Sydney, and I'm not even sure if that's still running. Luna Park's always going broke, closing down, burning down, always having troubles. Hey, Michael, I was so poor at the time, couldn't afford to go to Disneyland, so at night we climbed the roof because every night they had fireworks at 9:30. Yeah, I remember that. I remember when I was younger, we used to try and sneak into the Moss Vale show for the fireworks and all that sort of thing. And we used to have policemen chasing us along the railway line and security guards hiding in bushes, and it was a lot of fun. And then one time I went with a Greek friend of mine, and he goes, "Come with me, I'll get you in for free." And I said, "How are we going to do that?" And he's like, "Watch and learn." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, here we go." And all of a sudden, a really big family came along, and there was like 2 adults, and I think there was 11 children. So there was like 13 people in this little crowd. So we just went up to the back of the little crowd and walked in with them, and they didn't even check us, and that was quite funny. He was a clever bloke, that fella. Yeah, it used to cost a lot of money to get into the shows. The good old days, yeah. Hey Bimby, how was fire training? I've been thinking about joining the fire brigade, but I don't know how much training's involved, and I'm not too keen on training every weekend. Oh, that's cool, Imperium label. Drive-in theatres, yeah. Oh wow, that's good to see. I'm not the only pirate out there. Yeah, we didn't really have drive-in theatres in Australia. I think my dad said they did years ago, but they all closed down. Went out to the lagoon today. Oh, that sounds nice. You knew what's with the pirate talk? I'm Silverbeard, the garage sale pirate, and the kids and I dress up as pirates and have a lot of fun. It's just something different. Pirates for life, yeah. Wish they made a Lost Boys coin from Peter Pan. Lost Boys, yeah. Yeah, they need to do some Peter Pan stuff. That's pretty cool, that. I always dreamed of living forever as a little kid, as everyone does. And then I grew up and realised life's not that fun. No, so try and make it fun for the kids too, Central Coast. The kids get a real kick out of it. And being that I'm like the biggest kid, I get a real kick out of it. So try and get me. So I'm looking at you or something. Night Silver Streak, thanks for coming, mate. Peter Pan reminds me of Susie's name. It's fun. grew up and realised these kids are so expensive. Oh, you're not wrong. Oh, my kids are big like me, so they eat and eat and eat and eat and eat and eat and eat. Never grow up, it's a trap. Yes, Imperial Label. If you grow up, you stop having fun, and then life starts becoming a chore. No worries, Michael. Thanks for coming, everyone. This was just like a test to see if I could get this working at least. So if I get time in the morning, I might do Pirate Booty Wheel of Doom for everyone. And but I've got to go out and post my mail in the morning. I didn't get to do the mail because I was helping Ian on Friday afternoon. Hey, Step Stacker. You all right, mate? Not a problem. Yeah, I'm sorry, everyone. We couldn't do the Pirate Booty Wheel of Doom this morning. We really missed that. Thanks, Imperium Label. Appreciate that, mate. It's a lot of fun doing this for everyone. We get a real kick out of making everyone happy, and that's what life's about. You know, there's enough sadness and miserableness out there, so we've got to try and all do our little bit to help each other. Central Coast Bass. It's funny you should mention that I need an eye patch, because my good mate Mr. Doughboy 356, he has an eye patch on the way for me. 3 nines fine silver eye patch he made for me. He got a silver credit card, and he cut it out in the shape of the eye patch and bent it out and shaped it and everything. What time is it there? It is 5:03 p.m. So in the afternoon. And I can smell the silver side cooking in the background there. Dinner's going to be ready soon. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Because I'm starving, fading away to a shadow. There's nearly nothing left of me. I haven't eaten for a good hour. Need to talk pirate, mate? I can't. It's actually I think on the 17th or 18th of September. It's International Sunday on Guam. Yeah. Yeah, the 18th or the 17th of September is International Talk Like a Pirate Day. So then we're going to talk like a pirate for the whole stream. Or try to, anyway. I'm not real good at talking like a pirate. Oh, that's good, Daryl. You'll love that shilling you won the other day, mate. They're really popular coin, the Australian shilling, with the ram's head on it. And ram's head, sheep in Australia were the big money earners back in the old days. If you had a bit of land and could run sheep, you made good money. So much so that in a lot of countries, they'll do railway lines for gold mines, or, you know, big cities, hook up big cities, things like that. In Australia, our first railway line started in Goulburn and ran to Sydney, and that was so that they could get their wool on the trains up to Sydney. So, because wool was big business. If you had wool, you were a rich man back in the old days.
Dad, Mum wanted to show you this.
Oh, it's Bimby.
Yeah. And then go across.
Oh, that looks like a lot of fun. So he's pumping water out of the lagoon, spraying into the bush. I tell you what, being a firefighter here in Australia is a very honourable thing. We all need our fighters, because it's the biggest danger to everyone in Australia is bushfires. So dry here. We're going to be in for a bad year this year. You can just tell. We should have had 1883 Tassie. It's a nice one too. I'll dig him out and let you have a look one day. So I've got 2 Morgans now, and I've got to do. I was going to do my peace dollar giveaway for the shout out today, but with everything that happened, I never got around to doing that either. So I'll have to do that for the next one. Yeah, our firefighters are amazing what they go through. Like we had one fire here, which was heading straight for our house, and it was going up through gullies. So it's going up hills through the little gully, and the fire was just out of control, and it burnt out a lot of the firemen's vehicles. So the fireys had to abandon the fight and just run for their lives. And the helicopters were coming in and bombing it. I was up the top watching it. And the helicopters were coming in, the little guys, and bombing it and slowing it down enough for the firefighters to run away. And it was really dangerous and really out of control. And it looked like we were going to lose our house here. And then all of a sudden, the big Ericsson Sky Crane, the big Elvis helicopter came over the fire, bang, dumped it on the fire, and the fire was under control. One hit from the big Sky Crane saved our houses, saved all the firemen. It's you know, when the big fires are on, you see that big Sky Crane up in the air flying around. It gives you a bit of heart that even if you get into trouble, there's someone there that can get you out. Because a lot of times you'll be trying to defend your house and your neighbours and that, and you'll get stuck. You won't be able to get out of the road. So the Sky Cranes will come in and douse the roads down a bit so you can get out, can escape. Aussie Outlaw, yeah, I've seen Aussie Outlaw on Premier Hells a fair few times. He's a cool bloke. One year we had to leave our caravan park at Christmas time. We all go down to the coast and stay at caravan parks and that. And one year the fires came from every direction, and all the caravan parks up and down the coastline had to evacuate, and we all had to drive through the fires to get out. So you had fires on both sides, and you had trees falling down on the roads, and it was scary, scary stuff. And that wasn't even a real bad fire. That was just a big one. It wasn't like we get firestorms here in Australia, and the front will just move at incredible pace, and nothing can outrun it. Yeah, Imperium Label. It's we have a lot of fun in Australia, but we have a lot of danger too. You got to be aware of yourself. Yeah, springtime in Australia right now, end of winter. Yeah, normally in winter we get a lot of our rain. We get a fair bit of good soaking rain in winter, and that greens everything up and stops it being so dangerous. But this year in winter we had rain probably twice, and it wasn't enough to soak. It didn't really do anything at all. So everything's already brown and dry going into summer. So as soon as we start getting 35, 40 degree day heats and the wind blowing, it'll just dry everything out. And then any spark, anything, and whoosh, she's off. Yeah, 93, 94 was a bad year. 98 was another bad year. I remember that was a bad one here. We had one year, the fires were so bad, it burnt down all the power poles everywhere. So we had no power for, I think it was 3 weeks. There was no power in the Highlands. So I went to get a generator. And Awesome Juice, hello mate. So we're in the shop buying generators, and I thought, oh, while I'm here, I might as well ask people what they want their generator for. Like for me, my biggest 9 days straight, wow. 9 days of rain. We haven't had that since for 20 years. Seriously, we haven't had good rain for 20 odd years, since I was about 14, 15. But, yeah, it's a real big problem here. So I was asking all the people about what they were buying their generator for. And because I was buying my generator for Ozstar so I could watch TV. That was my priority, not a fridge or anything, because I was only single then. I didn't have to worry about kids or anything, so I could just live off packaged food and stuff. No, I'm talking about fires in Australia, the fires are the big trouble. They come through and just destroy everything. So a lot of people were saying some of them wanted it for their air conditioning because Australia's in summer is really hard to breathe. It gets that hot and dry. You just can't breathe. So a lot of people were getting air conditioning, getting ones for air conditioning. Some wanted fridges, some wanted ovens. Yeah, awesome juice. It's not much fun. It's just part of life here. You just got to accept it, and you've really got to learn about it and get to know what to do in it. Like when you see the fires coming, you've got to judge the wind, how dry it is, how big the fire's coming at you, and know whether just to run or whether to stay and fight. Live next to London. Oh, London's a cool city. We spent a bit of time in London. I enjoyed London, going to the Tower of London, the Waxworks Museum. That was another good one. What was another good one? The London Dungeon. That was really fun for a little kid, going to see how they used to do it all back in the old days. Plaque is a figment of the liberal media and dental industry scare you into buying useless appliances and paste. Okay. Okay, are you like spamming my channel now, Mr. Desavoltus Maxagentilius? If you keep it up, you'll get booted. I like the bridges. They are cool to just go over for tourism. Yeah, I love the bridges too. London Bridge was awesome, and Windsor Castle was pretty cool. And I'm sorry to do this to you Americans, but I've got to tell this story. When we were in Windsor Castle's right next to London Airport, Heathrow Airport or something. So there's constantly jets going over Windsor Castle all day, constantly. And an American tourist said to the tour guide, "Why did they build the castle right next to the airport?" And everyone just looked at this bloke expecting for him to start laughing, going, it's a joke. But he was serious. He thought they built the castle as a tourist attraction next to the airport. And it was a bit of a funny one. The thing that disappointed me the most in England was we went to Nottingham Forest and to see about Robin Hood. We were big fans of Robin Hood. Yeah, it was pretty bad, Skull Crusher. And we got to where Robin Hood was, and the tour guide started explaining how Nottingham Castle's not there anymore. It's been destroyed. So there's no Nottingham Castle anymore. It's like a big mansion on top of a hill. So there's no Nottingham Castle anymore. And we said to them, well, what about Robin Hood? And they said, well, Robin Hood didn't exist. It was just a story made up. And there was someone in the area robbing people at the time, but he didn't give to the poor. So that was devastating because we'd travelled all that way to see the birthplace of Robin Hood, and it was all a story. I hope I haven't ruined it for everyone else. You saw it when you were 6? Yeah. Yeah. I loved England. England, absolutely beautiful. As soon as I got to England and you could see everything green, like everything, like the grass is green, the trees are green. It's not often like that here in Australia. Quite often it's dark, it's brown, it's dry in Australia. So when we got to England, everything was beautiful and green. It was just like, oh, wow, this is like heaven. And we really enjoyed the pub lunches. They have in England. They have pub food. Like you go into the pubs and have a roast, and the roasts are amazing in the English pubs. And they have Yorkshire puddings, and it's one of the things I still remember of England was going to the pubs and having a feed. They were absolutely the best feeds I've had in England was at the pubs. England was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed looking at all the old buildings and ruins and all that sort of thing. In band class growing up, I learned how to play a piece called Something About Nottingham Castle. Ah, right. They still have, underneath the old castle, they still have tunnels under there, and it's sort of like caves. And they reckon that they did try and rob the castle through the caves, and then after that, they ended up using the caves as like dungeons, like a prison. So it's quite interesting when we went there. Tenor, saxophone. Oh, cool. I like saxophone. Saxophone is really cool. I only ever learnt to play the violin. I wasn't very good at it, and I didn't keep going for very long because we had to play an instrument at school. It's not like I picked it out or anything. Oh. Well, I'm glad I got this sorted out. Now I can do me live streams from this if I can't get my computer going at least. It's just going to make it a little bit more difficult. Oh, good luck. Found it buried. I hope you find good stuff in that, mate. Yeah, we learnt, how's it go? Three blind mice. How I wonder what they are. Three blind mice. I still sort of remember. Yeah, it's weird how that works, eh? When you start doing the tune in your head, your fingers start moving. I haven't played that for like 20-something years. And Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, we learnt that one as well. That was a good one. I got a lot of people picked on me a lot for playing the violin at school, but I didn't really have a choice. I had the choice of violin, a flute, or something else, and I didn't want to play them other ones. That was even worse. At least the violin was a little bit of fun to play. Bag. Yeah, I always wanted to play the bagpipes because my great-grandmother was from Edinburgh in Scotland, so I've got a bit of Scottish in me. So I've always wanted to learn how to play the bagpipes. Your daughter plays the violin, Tassie? Yeah, another thing with the violin was that I was never very popular at home when I'd start practicing. Everyone would tell me to stop. So that went away pretty quick. Bag, all right. All right, what's that, Mum? All right. Yeah, see, I couldn't read music for the life of me. I'd try and I just couldn't do it. So I'd have to learn by ear and just listen by ear and do it by ear. I could not read music at all. That just went straight over my head. Yeah, I'm not a real good musical person. My idea of good music is putting a cassette tape, putting a CD player on and turning it on. Now I just use the YouTube music. But yeah, I'm old. I'm not as bad as my dad. He still calls a radio a wireless from the old days. He goes, "Go and get the wireless." I'm like, "Oh, don't say that in front of people. You're embarrassing me." Have you ever heard of Baker Street? What's Baker Street, Mum? What's Baker Street? No, I haven't heard of Baker Street. Is that where the Beatles did their thing going across the road, maybe? I know there's a famous street in England where they do that. They have them going across the road, doing their walk thing across the road. It's a song, mate. Search it. All right, cool. Yeah, I used to live next to Ivor Davies, the lead singer for Icehouse, and they sang the song "Great Southern Land." And that's one of the best Australian songs out there. But the man himself, you wouldn't waste your time talking to him. He was my neighbour, and I tried to say g'day, mate, to my neighbour, and he went off at me. Oh, you learned how to play it. Wireless light, my dad, found it buried, yep. Old school, they're really old school when they talk about wirelesses and things like that. My dad, because he was born under the old system, and then later on they changed over to metric, like it was used to be feet, inches and all that sort of stuff, and then they changed to centimetres and metres. It is more so American. Oh, right. Yeah, when they changed over, my dad had to learn all the new ones. So when he's measuring stuff out with a tape measure, he'll go like, 6 inches and a couple of them little things meaning millimetres. And I've got to get my tape and I've got to use a tape with inches and stuff like that on it and the conversion into centimetres. So I know what he's talking about when he's telling me 10 inches and 2/4 and all this sort of stuff. Then I've got to work out how much that is in my measurement. Makes it quite hard. 3:22 a.m. Wow. Night Skull Crusher. Yeah, I probably better get going soon and go and get dinner ready. Help get dinner ready. What'd you just find, Awesome Juice? Let it be silver or gold. 1 inch and a few ticks. That's it. Found it buried. When we're at TAFE and we'd talk in inches, the teacher used to ask us, "Are you measuring something?" We weren't allowed to use. I just found a 1944 sixpence. Nice, Awesome Juice. So 44 sixpence. That'd be in, if it's Australian, that'd be in the sterling silver range. If it's English, you'll have to check on that. I know they changed, English silver changed from 50%, I think, to Croppo nickel in 47. They stopped using silver. So in England, I'm pretty sure it was sterling silver up until 1918, and then they changed it to 50% silver in England, and then at 1947, I'm pretty sure they changed it to Croppo nickel. Hey, Michael Piddle, Rare Coins, how you going? It is sterling rang for us too. Yeah. I'm not sure what Canada did with their coinage, because they're part of the Commonwealth. I'm not sure if they followed our lead and stayed with. I think you followed America's lead more with your coinage, like you stayed with it until the 60s, like America did. I think. I'm not entirely sure. No, you got to love finding silver. We've only found one silver coin in coin roll hunting, and the captain found it. And every time she brings it up and reminds me that she found the silver and not me. I didn't find it. Wicket and Friends parody. How you going? 1964 in US was silver. Yeah. 64 was 90%, and then after that, their half dollars were still 40%, I'm pretty sure, until 69 or 70, but the 70s weren't released. But I have a 1970D half dollar. I got my 1970D half dollar coin roll hunting with silver giveaways. That was really cool. My rolls today from silver giveaways, I think I won a commemorative coin of Columbus coming to America. It's not it's not silver or anything, but it's got ships on it, like old Spanish ships. So that's really cool. I love that. What's your rarest coin? My rarest coin in Australia probably be in the sovereign category. There's certain types of gold sovereigns that are really rare, and one gold sovereign can cost a fortune. Then you've got the 1930 penny. I think they can run a couple of 100,000. But my rarest coin that I've got would probably be the crowns, the 37 crowns. And they have rarer ones, but for me, these are the rarest coins that I have. The 37 crowns. They're pretty much the equivalent to a Morgan dollar and a peace dollar, but they're sterling silver, these guys. And these were minted in 37 and 38. Now the 37s, you can get them, but they're not very common. But the 38s, the holy dollar, yeah, $500,000. Yeah, if you can get a holy dollar, an Australian holy dollar, if you can find that metal detected, you're laughing. But they're very rare, very, very rare. The 38 crowns, they normally cost like $150 to $160 just for a 38. So 37's $40, $50, somewhere around that line. Yeah, I remember seeing a show on the Spanish churches and all that. Yeah, I love all the old pirate ships and all that. I was watching a show recently on Canada, not Canada, on the Florida, on the Treasure Coast. No worries, awesome juice. And these guys were metal detecting on the beach, looking for the treasure from the 12 Spanish ships that sunk along the coast one year. And they were finding big gold coins on the beach, like really nice big gold coins. And Blake goes, "How much is that worth?" And he says, "Oh, 20 to 30,000 for this coin." And 20 to 30,000 for one gold coin. I reckon that's pretty sweet. I'd be there metal detecting on that beach every day. Whoa. And the bloke said he found a fair few, like 50 of them or something. Francis Drake. Oh, sweet. I've got to check out my my coat of arms. This one here is the Richardson one with the sword. We were like soldiers for the king. And my grandmother on my dad's side was sailors, the Trevenus. And that's a ship captain's crest. So you got the ship on top of the head instead of a sword. And they had 10 generations of ship captains. So I'd love to go back and check to see if any of them got into any of the piracy, because you used to get a letter of what was called a letter of marque, which means that when you're sailing around the world, if you found an enemy ship, like say a French ship or a Spanish ship, whatever it be, and you had a letter of marque from the government, you're allowed to steal that ship, anything on it, take it home, and you'd get big pay for it. So I'd love to know if any of my family did any of that sort of thing. Rafe, how you going, mate? Drake was a privateer, a little different than a pirate. Yeah, privateer, that's like what I was talking about, like the letter of marque. You're good to have you, Rafe. Yeah, letter of marque was pretty much that you were a pirate for the government. Hey, Victoria, how you going? I'm going to gamble 50 sterling in blackjack, see what I can win. All right. Yeah, so did I, Tassie. We spent 2 hours after Silver Giveaways trying to get our stream going. After that, I gave up and then went to sleep, and I've not long woken up and thought I'd try and do it like this, see if I can get this to work. Because I just could not get the computer to work at all. It just kept coming up, download this, upload this, go to your coder. Oh, you got to turn on your coder to start your streaming now, and then when you want to turn it off, you got to turn your coder off. I don't understand it. It's too technical for me now. Captain Morgan, another privateer. Blackbeard William Teach was a straight pirate. Yeah, different between a straight pirate, someone who would steal from anyone and everyone, and a privateer. A privateer was pretty much someone who was doing their normal day-to-day job, but they had a letter saying that they could go and be a pirate if they had the opportunity. And it was only only got letters of marque when the countries were at war with other countries. And yeah, so It's kind of interesting how it all used to work. There's when we were in England, we got to go to one big mansion, and they had a secret door in the kitchen, and the secret door in the kitchen opened up into a tunnel, and the tunnel went down through to a cave out on the coast, and it was a pirate smuggling tunnel. So this family got rich, mega rich, off being pirates and smuggling, and now it's part of the Maynard sunk the Queen Anne's Revenge off the coast of North Carolina. Wow, I'd love to go and find some of that treasure. That'd be awesome to find actual pirate treasure. Yeah, it's quite interesting. Like, I'm pretty sure it was Captain Kidd who made burying pirate treasure popular. Like, because he knew he was in trouble, and he was a privateer, not a pirate, but he robbed one of his own, he robbed a ship that belonged to the East India Company, which was an English company. So when he robbed that was the end of his life. He was dead. So he thought he could bury his treasure and then swap his treasure for his life. And he offered up his treasure when they were going to hang him, and they said no, they just hung him. And they ended up finding some of his buried treasure on one island, but they haven't found the rest of it, and they don't know what happened to it. Oh, right. There's a lot of piracy went on in America. Hey, beautiful, do you want to come say hello to everyone? Say hello.
Hi.
Hello. I'm just getting ready for... Whew. I found a shipwrecked treasure. I would tell no one. The government will just take it. Yeah, you're not wrong, Tassie. There was a famous shipwreck off New South Wales coast from back in the days of the Australian Gold Rush, and there was a big safe in the captain's quarters, a really massive big safe, and the story was that it was full of gold. And people went back to have a look at it one day, have a look at the safe, and the whole side of the boat had been ripped off and the safe was gone. Someone had come in and dredged open the side of the boat and ripped the whole safe out and pinched the whole big safe. And so that did a lot of damage to a historic site.
Why are you telling a story to them?
Just telling them what happened to the shipwreck. Like, a lot of times people go down and steal things off the shipwrecks. That's a bit like modern day piracy. Apparently there's a lot of
Is that your computer?
going on up in Singapore and Indonesia at the moment.
It's a black computer.
It is, that's my new pooter.
I know it's your new computer.
Whoa, careful.
Stop. Stop moving. Moving. Stop. So that.
Yeah, so I might end this stream now and catch up with you all tomorrow when I do try and do the pirate booty wheel of doom. So I'm going to go and get ready for dinner now, everyone. Bye. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us. Really appreciate it. Love having a chat. Been a bit shaken up since that test live stream, the accident and all that. I keep thinking about it of a night when I'm laying down. Can't shut off. Thanks, Tassie. I'm just so glad the guy's okay. Yeah, he's okay, Victoria. He rang me and he said he's okay and he's having surgery today. His name's Ian, so lovely bloke. Just so glad I was there to help him. Hey, meat man. How you going, mate? Oh, thanks, everybody. I'll catch up with you soon. Bye, everyone. Bon voyage. Thanks for coming and hanging out and having fun, everyone.